Ugh.
And my lungs just like haven't been the same since.
Hi, Mason and Madeline. I love you.
Jeff, I haven't seen you.
I know I've missed you. Let's talk this week about one-on-one.
I'm scheduling it with like 3 people, so I'll have to point you.
I just want to send your face.
All right, welcome everyone. If you'll notice, we have actual Sidurim now. So we're going to start on page 8 with Hine Matov, which is actually in the text in front of you right now. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hey, Mato, Umanai, Sheberati, Yamyata. Hey, Mato, Umanai, Sheberati, Yamyata. Well, welcome everyone. I am Jeff Levin. For those of you who don't know, I'm the senior Jewish educator. Hi. This is Jordan Teitelbaum, who is a junior who's helping lead services tonight. Will please turn to page 12 for Yadid Nefesh, which I have promised Daniel to do correctly. Yadid Nefesh Avarachaman Mishoch Avdecha El Ritzonecha Yarutz Avdecha Kemo Huaya Ishtachavel Mul Hadarecha Te'eravlo Yedidutecha Mino Fetzuv Bechotam Yadai dai 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 Yadai dai 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 Yadai dai 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 Yadai dai 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 Yadai dai 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 Yadai dai 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 Yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die die die, yada die die die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die. Daniel, better? All right. I have to get the president's seal of approval on Yadid Nefesh. Please turn to page 22 for Lachun Ranana. Lechun Iranina, Lechun Iranina, Lechun Iranina, Ladonai. Lechun Iranina, Lechun Iranina, Lechun Iranina, Ladonai. Naria, Litzor Yishenu, Nikadma Fanav Betodah. Naria, Litzor Yishenu, Bismi Rots Naria Lo. Lechun Iranina, Lechun Iranina, Lechun Iranina, Ladonai. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, ladonai. Now 3 lines from the bottom. Arba'im shana akut bedor, omaram towe levavheim, v'heim lo yadu derachai, asher nishpati v'api, im yivo'uhun el menuchati. Turn to page 24 for Shiru Laronai. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru Miyom Leyom Yeshuato, Sapru Vagoyim, Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim, Nifla Otav, Ki Dol Adonai. Hulal meod, no rahu, al kol Elohim, yadai, ki kol Elohe, ha'amim evivim, va'adonai shamayim asa, hod v'hadar lefanav, oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho, havul Adonai mishpachot amim, havul Adonai kavod va'oz, havul Adonai kavod shemo, se'u mincha uvohu lechach torotav. Adonai Hadrat Kodesh Chilu mipanav kol haaretz Imru vagoyim Adonai malach Aftikon tevel baltimo in Israel Yismechu hashtamayim betelgel haaretz Iram hayam Lohu Ya'alo Sadai B'chol Asher Bo Az Yiradenu Kol Etzeya'a Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel B'tzedek Be'amim be'emunato Yai dai 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 yai dai dai dai. So we got off by half a line there, didn't we? Yeah. And earlier today when we were rehearsing, we were only going to do the first 5 lines of that, but y'all kept going, and so it's great.
Sorry, I wasn't informed.
Please turn to page 34 for Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu Ladonai B'nei Elim, Havu Ladonai Kavod Va'os. Havu Ladonai Kevod Shemo, Yishtachavu Ladonai B'Hadrat Kodesh. Kol Adonai al Hamayim, El HaKavod Hirim, Adonai al Mayim Rabim. Kol Adonai Ba'Koach, Kol Adonai Ben Atar. Kol Adonai Shover Arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et Arsei Havanon. Vayakidem Kimo Egel, Livanon Vesiryon, Kimo Ven Reimim. Kol Adonai Chotzef Lavotesh, Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar. Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yecholel Ayalot, Vayachasof Ya'arot, Uhechalo, Kulo Mer Kavod, Adonai Lamabul Yahashaf, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitain, Adonai Yevarech Et Amo V'Shalom. Well, please turn now to page 38 for the Chadodi. We're going to do the first 3 verses, then the first verse on page 40, and then the last verse on page 40. I'll guide you as we go through. L'chadodi bikrat kala b'nei Shabbat ekaveva bikrat kala b'nei Shabbat ekaveva. First verse on the top of page 40. Everyone, please rise and face the rear of the room as if we are welcoming in a bride. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat ekaveva. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat ekaveva. You will please be seated and turn to page 44. I'm going to end this part of the service. This is the Kabbalat Shabbat, the welcoming, the greeting of the Shabbat. If you would like to read with me in Hebrew or just listen. Adonai malach geut lavesh. Lavesh Adonai oz tit azar. Aftikon de vel batimot. Lechon kisach hameyaz meolam atzah. Nasu naharot Adonai. Nasu naharot kolam. Yisu naharot dachyan. Mikolot mayim rabim. Adirim mishbarei yam. Adir marot Adonai. Erotecha ne'emnu meod, levetecha na'ava kodesh Adonai la'orech yamin. And with that, we will turn to page 50, and we will rise for the Baruch Hu, which is the sort of official start of the evening service, as it says here, the call to worship. Prepared, are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada die die die, 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 yada die die die. Please be seated. And we'll continue at the bottom of page 50 with the first blessing before the Shema. And we'd like to recite with me in Hebrew. It's into transliteration at the bottom of the page. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim. B'chokhmah potech she'arim. V'vuneh b'shenei etif. Machlif hasmanim. Umsader ha'kochavim. B'mishmerotehem b'arkei kertzonah. Borei yom v'layla kol or mifnei choshech v'choshech mifnei or. V'avir yom v'viv layla mavdil bein yom v'bein layla. Adonai tzvot shemo. Achayim v'kayam tamid yimloch alim le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Turn to page 52. We'll sing about Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shachreinu uvkumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayeinu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem negeh yomam v'layla Ve'avatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Everyone please rise for Shema. And we will do this as we have done for most of the time I've been leading services. We will recite the Shema and the V'ahavta together in Hebrew, which is on page 54, followed by the going back through it in English on page 55. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Silently to yourself. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu Advarim ha'elim Asher Anochi mitzavecha Hayom alevavecha V'shinantam levanecha V'dibarta bam בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, ובשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך. And then together in English on page 55. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Praise be God's glorious sovereignty forever and ever. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. You shall take to heart these words which I command you this day. You shall teach them diligently to your children, speaking of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down at night and when you rise up in the morning. You shall bind them as a sign upon your arm, and they shall be a reminder above your eyes. You shall inscribe them on the doorposts of your homes and on your gates. All right, please be seated. We'll turn to page 60. It's sort of the bottom of the page.
Like you,
Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? And we'll turn now to page 64 for Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et Shabbat Asot et Shabbat Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et Shabbat Asot et Shabbat Israel, B'nei Israel, Odinei Vishamru B'nei Israel, et Shabbat Asot et Shabbat Sheshet Yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat asot et Shabbat v'torah v'ritzot u'vayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat All right, welcome everyone. This is the time the source would like to talk a little bit about this week's Torah portion or just generally what's going on. This probably will not come as a big surprise to many of you, but I am a big podcast guy. I live about a half hour away, so I have a lot of driving time. I listen to, of course, a few podcasts about the Gators or about Chelsea. But the one I've been into most recently is called The Rest is History. Two British professors, history professors, talk about a wide range of topics. I just this week finished listening to a series about America in 1968. I listened to one about the Magna Carta, about the 100 Years' War. On my way back from the Hillel Conference in Boston last month, I listened to an episode that this podcast did, these two professors did, about the rise of the Nazis and the way in which the Nazi Party implemented its ideology in the pre-war years. And something that these professors said stuck with me. And in case you want to listen to this episode later, the episode was released on January 14th, 2024, and is part 5 of the Nazis in Power series. One of the professors, Tom Holland, not that Tom Holland, but he is also British, I guess, right? He's talking about the Nazis' ideology. He says, I wanted to quote this directly. I went and looked at the transcript. And I think they have an internally coherent morality. And even though what they do has become the absolute epitome of evil, I think that they serve for us as the embodiment of evil. They do not see themselves as evil. In fact, just the opposite. They see themselves as doing what they're doing for the good of Germany. So I want us to marinate in that for a second. And a lot of the time, I'm driving, I listen to a podcast, and sometimes the words are background noise to whatever's going on in my head. I'm thinking about work or thinking about what's going on at home. But these sentences stuck with me as I'm sort of grappling with what's going on in our society, what's going on in our sort of general political sphere. In 10 days, we are going to inaugurate a new president of the United States. The election that ended in November, not too long before the end of the semester, was, as you know, I don't have to tell you, incredibly contentious. And whether you supported Vice President Harris or President Trump, chances are that you had negative feelings, not only about the other candidate, that's pretty normal, but crucially, and this is what I want to get at tonight, about the other candidate's supporters. If someone tells you that they openly supported whichever side you did not, I imagine, you can tell me I'm wrong, that you immediately form opinions about that person and may shut down dialogue altogether. And now I want to be clear before I move on, because I see some skeptical faces. This is not to say that we should or have to agree with everyone. There are beliefs that are abhorrent to us, for example, the Nazis. We should not brush those aside for some goal of everyone getting along. That's not unity. What that is capitulation. But the reality is that we 350 million or so Americans, I actually didn't look up the population when I was writing this, I'm assuming that's about right. We have to live with one another. And it's very possible that the events of the next 4 years are going to cause us to become ever more siloed, cut off from anyone outside our bubble. We can dig into the realities in which we live and refuse any sort of connection with anybody else. We can all exist in our own worlds. And I think that would be a mistake with tragic and potentially fatal consequences for the country. I believe very strongly that disagreement is healthy. This is a complex world, and very, very few issues, again, I guess that the Holocaust was bad, have such an obvious solution or obvious agreement that all citizens would be in lockstep. But we need to be able to argue and fight without ruining the fabric of our society. The way I sort of internalize it, and I thought of this as the metaphor, is, look, I'm a big football fan. I was a football coach. And coaching staffs spend hours and hours each week understanding the tendencies and the strategy and the philosophy behind whatever the other team is doing. Presumably that's what Ryan Day did for Steve Sarkisian and vice versa. We got 52 minutes till that game kicks off. I suggest that we need to approach our country's issues the same way. We have to understand why everyone is believing what they do. Part of this was triggered in my head by a conversation at the Hillel conference. A rabbi was saying, a female rabbi was saying, what is wrong with men? Are men okay? And first of all, I mean, to the extent anybody's okay. But I think the important point is, it was said by another fellow rabbi, that a lot of people who have beliefs we don't agree with, we have to remember, they don't think they're wrong. Just because they believe something else does not mean that they think they are wrong. And so what I want us to strive first and foremost to do as we move into this spring 2025 semester is to assume that the people with whom we live and with whom we study and with whom we pray are acting with good intentions. We may not like these intentions or these goals or these beliefs, but to think that anybody who has these different viewpoints is acting irrationally or needs to be corrected every time we come in contact with them will only lead to further division and further enmity. Or in other words, when you want the other side to lose more than you want to win, you've already lost. Shabbat Shalom and Happy New Year. We're going to continue now with page 66 with the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadav v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'almad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayecha yomecho u'chayetecho beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kariv v'yemeru Yeheshmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Olam Le'amaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitbar V'yitzromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitzaleh V'yitalal Shemei Kudesha Le'edra Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran b'yalma v'yemeru. Amen. If everyone will please rise and turn to page 69 for the Amida. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Meti V'Tarav L'Hoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed Mechayei Meitim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato V'Shenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Kevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechayem Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'mata Hachayot Meitim Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaMeitim. We continue silently to page 74. When you are done and there is no rush, you may be seated. the bottom of page 74, the middle of page 74. Ki atanu melech adon v'chol hashalom. Ki atanu melech adon v'chol hashalom. Yisrael amcha tzasik. Yisrael We're going to sing Misha Berach. Now this is a prayer and a blessing for people who need healing, physical or spiritual. I am holding in my heart Rabbi Spector from Ohev, to whom we owe a great debt of gratitude for all the new Sidurim we are using. And I was thinking about this on the way in, that one of the good things about getting older is wisdom and friendships that have lasted a long time. But that means that everyone's getting older. And so I'm going to hold my friend Dan Hardcastle's dad, Ben, in my heart as well. Mikor haracha le'enim avoteinu, may the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Shebeirach imotenu mikor haracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We'll now turn sort of way ahead, page 118, and rise for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula v'yotzeh breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'goraleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב עיקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. Eloheinu Eino Emet Malkeinu Refes Zulato Kakatu Betorato Viadata Hayom V'Hashevota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim בשמיים ממעל, ויל הארץ, ויל הארץ, מתחת עינו. Turn the page, the bottom of page 120. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Then we'll please remain standing as we turn to page 124, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayecho v'yomecho v'chayetacho Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yemru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei almayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yetadar v'yetaleh v'yetalah shmei l'kudashah. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran v'yalma v'yemru. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav. V'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yemru amen. Please be seated. A few announcements. First of all, JLF registration is still open. The link is up on our link tree. One class is at 12 or 12:30 on Tuesdays, and one is about 4:30 on Wednesdays. Please sign up. Havdalah tomorrow night at 8 o'clock here, right downstairs here in the courtyard. The cafe is finally opening at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. It's a grand opening. You've probably seen signs around. You're going to see us posting and advertising about it. Please come. It's going to be great. Birthright registration also opens on Tuesday. If you have questions about it, Sam is here tonight. You can certainly speak with him. Market day tabling will be on campus on Wednesday between 11 and 1. Wednesday night's nosh is a twisty treat nosh. What is that? Ice cream night? Are we going to?
Yes.
Okay, so where do we meet? Okay, so meet at Twisty Treat. Cool. Is at the corner of Colonial and Alfayette. I've been told, I don't know this, but you can't miss it.
Giant cupcake. You can't.
Wait, ice cream cone?
Or is it an ice cream cone? I thought it was a cupcake.
Let's see. Kindness card is from 12 to 1 on Thursday. It was on the calendar on Thursday.
She's switching it.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird to me too. I'm gonna have a Torah study on Friday at 11 a.m. upstairs, where it's the first parsha of the book of Exodus. So it's Parshat Shmot. It's a good one, which means it's basically a list of names. So awesome. Any other questions for me? Yeah.
I need a ride to the Twisty Treat kind of thing.
Talk to Laura if you can give her a ride to the Twisty Treat. That's Wednesday night, so talk to her. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, let's end with Adon Olam on page 128. Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chetzer Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'ed Nasa, V'chetzer Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Yeh, V'ein Sheni, Laham Shelo Lahachbira Adon Olam, B'li Reshit, B'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oz V'ham Nisra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chetzer Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Goali, B'tzur Chavli B'eit Sarah Adon Olam, Behu nisi umanosli. Manakosi biyom mekra adonolam adonolam. Hashem malach. B'tzeram kol. Yitzir nivra le'et nasa. Behefso kol. Azar melech shemu nikra adonolam. Biyado afki ruchi. Be'et ishan ba'ira adonolam. Be'im ruchi kiviyati. Adonai v'lo ira adonolam. Shabbat shalom. If everyone could please make a couple of stacks of the cedar ream on one of the back chairs, I'd appreciate it.
I started judging my